I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no loss. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Like that. It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Yeah. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Yeah. Go yo.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one, between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and score.
Well, it was a common sight in the 80s and 90s, not quite as frequent since, but it's back. Playoff football in the Bay Area here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Tonight, we wind up Week 5 with a good battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the San Francisco 49ers. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team that wins.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. Pretty good start there on plays 1 and 2.
And not discriminating at all, is he? Make sure he's spreading it around on the first 2 throws of the game. 2 different parts of the field as well.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So
and caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. From 19 yards away. And the Steelers take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. On 1st and 10, Watson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Well, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people...
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
That good for 19 and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Man, that's trash. That's trash.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll try the left side. McClellan. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. They're going to look to throw. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. A shotgun snap for Watson. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
2nd and 4. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 27 yards there, a first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. 2nd and 1. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try the left side. McClellan. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Steps away to his left. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. It's their quarterback. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. The first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. Looking to throw again on second down. Watson, and the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Back to throw, Watson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
This will be fielded at the 17. It's a net of 40 there. A punt of 48 and a return of 8. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it. Too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. Out of the gun now on third down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
On first down, McClellan. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So from the 36 now, first and 10.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you. Where'd he go?
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
13 yards there and a Niner first. Now a first down throw, Watson. He's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 3 to go. The Niners on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive maybe. That goes for a gain of 31. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Now, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You can fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Watson. That's complete to the former Aggie, Jay Sternberger. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Now a pass taken in by the tight end Herndon. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
Those really long field goals, when they are made, they are things of beauty, but there is a danger to getting them started, isn't there?
Yeah, with that low drive, you've got to really keep it low to the ground, don't you, to get that distance.
Yeah, hard to just pop it up in the air because otherwise it's not going to get there. So he's got to drive it low in order to have the distance, and that usually puts it in jeopardy, gives him a chance to block it, and everyone knows it on the other side. That's when you get your best jumpers on the other side of the field and try and get up and get it.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drive.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And the route is on here in this first half. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
In your face.
Throwing again is Watson. And that is incomplete here.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. This is taken at the 15. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. He'll drop to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
2nd and 2. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
On the set. Mike 52. Hey, lock it. Check.
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. throws a deep ball. End zone. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And this one is right down the middle. And that will do it for this. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. He had a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche. And we'll see what he can do on the return. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
How about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. A big run there, 29 yards and a 1st.
Get ready.
They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler 1st.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys continue to pour it on.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
A wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Jefferson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is fielded at the 7. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about the side.
Through an opening, and there he goes. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play there. With second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
On the field now, here come the 49ers. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
You better be afraid.
They run the counter. Jefferson. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go, D. Check.
They'll keep it on the ground. Jefferson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Out of the gun, Watson. It's caught here by Adams. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. 30.
Sometimes you're never quite sure there's actually scheme that got the ball blocked. But I know one thing. The special teams coach, he's going to take the pats on the back for it anyway.
It's always interesting to watch after the block, the scramble for the football. Nice job there. They kept their wherewithal, got it, able to return it.
And on that, he can take the pats on the back because once you get the block, everything that happens from there is really controlled chaos. And you try and control it through your practice, through your teaching, and understand, expect to get the block. And once we do, this is how we respond.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Back now here in Santa Clara. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Back now here in Santa Clara. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He'll look to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They're going to look to throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Well, a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Watson now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now here's a throw, and that's Taywan Taylor with it. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. To throw is Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. After the sack on 1st down, Watson making the catch is Sternberger. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. You know, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame him for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame him one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run on 1st down. McClellan, and for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. He'll rifle this one deep. It's caught inside the 25. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they load him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Back to throw, Watson. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
Watson trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Julian Love picks it. He's got daylight. The 20, 10, and he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
The throw right sideline here is complete. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Well, the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. From the 50, it's Watson. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. To throw again on second down. Watson is going to find his running back. It's complete. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Pittsburgh, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. So for Charles Davis and our